Here's a look at your top stories this Saturday, August 4th, 2018. Protesters at UNC continue to demand the removal of Silent Sam, but is it headed anywhere? Hear from the UNC Board of Governors about the future of the Confederate statue on campus. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is the last line of defense for people in crisis, how lawmakers are trying to make things easier and more accessible for those in need. Good morning, I'm Timothy Jones Jr. alongside meteorologist Alex Clement. We've seen a lot of rain the past couple days, Alex. Are we going to have any time to dry it out?
Don't put your umbrella away just yet. Keep it around, but we're starting to return to a more normal weather pattern. We'll see some more typical weather that we're used to this time of the year. We'll take you into downtown Raleigh right now, where still have partly cloudy skies and 80 degrees. Chapel Hill and Durham, starting to see some blue skies come out there. Fayetteville, they've had the sun coming down for most of the morning, so that's why they're about 7 degrees ahead of everyone else. Take a look around the rest of the region right now, where we have upper 70s to near 80 for most spots. Sand Hills a little warmer. We'll top out in the upper 80s for our high today. Raleigh 88 for your high. Evening, afternoon showers and thunderstorms are possible. We'll have light winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south. And then tonight we'll drop down into the low to mid 70s for your overnight lows. Mostly cloudy and humid conditions for your overnight. And then for your 3-day forecast, we do have a break in the rain coming for Monday, highs near 90. We have more details and your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
We have a breaking story right now out of Fayetteville, where police have arrested a woman they believe killed a man she dated by hitting him with her car. Authorities charged 47-year-old Sophronia Faulkner with voluntary manslaughter after they say she hit 51-year-old Deron White with her Honda Civic and left him lying dead on Andy Street. That's just off Bragg Boulevard. Newly released 911 calls reveal more on the moments after several people saw White's body in the street, not sure if he was dead or passed out.
I was walking home this morning from my boyfriend's house, and I seen a man laying there, and he I don't know, ma'am, I just see him laying there, and I said something like, yo, because I thought maybe he was asleep or something. That man is dead, ma'am. That man is dead. That man is dead.
According to a release, Faulkner and White were having an argument before the deadly hit and run, and they had been in a domestic relationship for many years. Controversy over the Confederate statue known as Silent Sam rages on at UNC, as he is not the only one staying quiet.
If this board will not move to issue a statement, please respond with exactly why that is.
UNC Board Chairman Harry Smith says the board will not issue a statement on the matter, adding that a 2015 law prevents historical monuments from being moved without approval from the state's historical commission. That silence may not roll well with protesters, who have been the mainstay at the statue since last August and were outside the Board of Governors meeting last week, saying that the statue creates racially hostile learning and working environment, which would be a violation of federal civil rights laws. What if the National Suicide Prevention Hotline had an easier way for callers to get in contact with them? Well, lawmakers are working on finding ways to make that happen. A 3-digit code for the suicide hotline, similar to calling 911 for most emergencies, is just one suggestion. Citizens currently must use a 1-800 number to call in, which may be hard to remember for someone who needs it urgently. Lawmakers also want to see how they can improve overall access to the hotline so callers can get help as quickly as possible. The push for these possible new measures comes at a time when national suicide rate is on the rise, according to data from the Center of Disease Control here in North Carolina. Here in North Carolina, suicide has become the 11th leading cause of death. On June 28th, a gunman shot and killed 5 people at a newspaper in Annapolis, Maryland, making it the deadliest shooting against journalists in American history. One of the victims of the shooting, Rob Hyacinth, has ties to North Carolina, working here as a reporter over 30 years ago. I spoke with 2 broadcasters this week at a radio station right here in Raleigh who had only good things to say about their old colleague.
It was a very sad morning here in the WPTF News Center as we got word that one of those killed in that shooting at the newspaper in Annapolis, Maryland yesterday was former WPTF reporter Rob Hyacinth.
It's the end of the work week for WPTF newscasters Tony Rigsby and Mike Raley. But on this Friday, an old friend is heavy on their minds.
And our overnight producer told me, did you know this guy Hyacinth who was killed in Maryland? And I went, Rob Hyacinth?
A gunman opened fire at the Capital Gazette newsroom in Maryland, killing 5 people. One of those victims, 59-year-old Rob Hyacinth, a former anchor and reporter for WPTF News in Raleigh back in 1984.
But the first thing you knew about Rob was he was a very imposing guy, well over 6 feet, striking blonde features, and a ready smile all the time. So he was one of those people you just liked immediately.
His former co-workers tell us he met his wife Maria here in Raleigh. They called it one of the greatest newsroom romances of all time.
He got here and met a young girl named Maria Mills, who was one of our anchors for our FM station WQDR at that time. And they hit it off. They went to a movie together, and they were virtually inseparable after that, and they were married less than a year later.
I do remember that Rob was a really good writer.
The 2 reporters never thought they'd hear Hyacinth's name again on their newscast, not in the form of a tribute.
This business is tough in a lot of different ways, but having someone who has probably put his life on the line at some point as a reporter over the years, to lose his life at the top of his game in a newsroom in an idyllic place like Annapolis, Maryland, is hard to grasp.
It's not your typical summer job. These students are back at South Johnson High School running the on-campus pet salon. The school's veterinarian program introduces students to a career in animal sciences at an early age. They work towards getting certified as a level 1 veterinarian assistant.
Ultimate goal is to become a veterinarian. That's why I'm here. The experience here is great, and it gives me a better idea of what becoming a vet is going to be like. I transferred over to South Johnson from another school district so I could take Ms. Parker's veterinary assistant program and graduate as a veterinary assistant.
Right now, only school staff members can drop their dogs off at the pet salon. Students also work with veterinary clinics in the area to complete their 300-hour certification program. Temperatures are rising with no end in sight this week. Spectrum News reporter Hannah Yeshivi has the details.
Timothy, parts of the state are going to face its first heat wave this summer, and high temperatures are expected to continue throughout the next few days.
Is on its way, affecting some of the state's most vulnerable people. A local program, Cool for Wake, is trying to help those people combat the high temps. It provides free fans for citizens who don't have a running fan or air conditioning in their homes. Houses with anyone over 60 or children under age of 12 may request a fan at the Wake County Human Services Department.
We had a cool start to summer. This June was pretty cool, but now it's heated up very quickly. And so today we've been extremely busy, and we really want to reach out to all those folks who are eligible and make sure that we serve them quickly.
Paul Stewart is one of the people benefiting from Cool for Wake. He was grateful picking up a fan for his house.
You give a little bit, you receive your blessing. You know, what they did right now today, you know, giving away free fans to people that really need it, you know, it'll come back, good things will come to you.
Another organization helping people through the heat wave is Meals on Wheels. Volunteers deliver over 1,300 meals every weekday to vulnerable elderly seniors. This time of year, they're also providing checkups while delivering meals as temperatures rise.
Whenever the heat gets hot and the temperatures stay high for a long period of time, we really do have a lot of concern for the folks in the Meals on Wheels program. You know, we certainly, the volunteer as they're delivering the meal will check on the participants, just make sure, remind them to drink, stay hydrated, see if they need anything else.
If you're headed outside during the heat wave, make sure you and your pet stay hydrated, to run errands as early as possible, and to exercise early as well. In the newsroom, Hannah Yeshivi, Spectrum News.
Thank you for that, Hannah. Coming up on Spectrum News, after having items stolen from his home, see what police did to put a smile on the face of this young boy. And the Carolina Panthers took the field for practice at their annual Fan Fest on Friday. We'll take a look at the festivities when Spectrum News returns.
Meteorologist Alex Commit here in the Weather on the Ones Weather Center. We've got a lot of rain over the past couple of weeks, but finally starting to return to a more normal weather pattern. I have your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the Weather on the Ones Weather Center. I'm your meteorologist Alex Commit. Let's take a live look into downtown Raleigh, where we're currently at 82 degrees. We'll warm up to around 88 in between hours here. We'll keep partly cloudy skies throughout the day and can't rule out a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Keep that forecast for Fayetteville as well, just a bit warmer, 87 degrees right now. They're a little ahead of us because they've had a lot more sunshine than we have this morning. Future Storm Tracker Doppler radar currently showing a little bit of lightning out there. Most of the activity is staying along our coast and our eastern communities here. Not a whole lot to talk about for the Triad or the Triangle and the Sandhills right now, but as far as the future goes, a high pressure located over Tennessee is going to move into the area over the next overnight and clear out our weather as we go into the overnight hours. We'll bring the storm chances back as we get into midday tomorrow. Not near as high as we've seen over the last couple weeks, but still there nonetheless. Go into the overnight hours on Sunday into early Monday. Your commute to work should be fine, and we bring back another chance of rain as we go into Monday. This is a little more exaggerated than what I expect to actually happen, but we'll still keep about a 20% chance of rain for your Monday. Today we'll warm up to the mid-80s along our northern communities. Henderson and Roanoke Rapids, you'll see about 86 degrees. Raleigh will be around 88 with the rest of the Triangle, and Fayetteville and the Sandhills will see 89. Temperatures near 90 degrees today. A few showers and thunderstorms as we go throughout your day. And then when it comes to the weather on your health, Triangle air quality and Sandhills, both code green, so breathe easy out there. UV index is a 10, so high risk from the sun, so make sure you have that sunscreen handy. And our pollen count is low for trees and grasses, but weeds are a little high, specifically ragweed if you're sensitive to that. Tonight we'll drop into the low 70s across our northern communities, mid 70s around the Sandhills, and we'll fall right in the middle here in the Triangle, about 72 degrees for your overnight low Raleigh. Mostly cloudy skies. We'll keep humid conditions as we go in the overnight hours. And our tropical update, I'm glad to report that there's not a lot going on out in the Atlantic right now. There is a system that shows about a 10% chance of development over the next couple of days, but it's posing no threat to us, and so we're okay with that. As far as the hurricane highway, or at least the tropical path that most of these storms take this time of year, there's nothing in the form of development over the next couple of days, so nothing to worry about. We'll take a look at the week ahead, where we have a 40% chance of rain on Sunday. We drop down to 20 for Monday, so nice weather ahead. We do return to the 90s, though, and we keep about a 40 to 30% chance of rain every day for the rest of the week, with highs near 90 and lows in the 70s every night.
The Carolina Panthers have some interesting questions going into the new season, like how quarterback Cam Newton will perform under the guidance of new offensive coordinator Norv Turner, or how the secondary on defense will be good enough to match with their stout front seven, led by linebacker Luke Kuechly. We'll have to wait till September to truly answer those questions, but Friday was the first fan fest for the Carolina Panthers fans. Fans got an up-close look at some of their favorite players during the team's practice session. Rain throughout the week may have softened the field, but didn't dampen the spirits of the festivities. And you can tune in every Monday night throughout the season for Panther Talk, a weekly show seen only on Spectrum News, your cable home for the Carolina Panthers. A home break-in is scary, especially for any child, but Gastonia police used their own money to help make the situation a little better.
They saw that you got your stuff stolen, and they got upset, so they talked to all these guys, and they all raised some money, and we bought you something.
A mother and son had their home broken into last month. 10-year-old Jaden Rogers had his PlayStation stolen, but a few officers pitched in to lift his spirits by replacing his PlayStation 4 games and bought him his own television. His mother, Christine, says it was an unexpected gesture of kindness.
They talked to us and made sure that we felt safe before leaving. And then this was just the extra mile that I would never have guessed.
It was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life.
The Rogers are in the process of moving and had to break her lease, but Christine says being in the home where they were robbed isn't an option. Well, that'll do it for us right now on Spectrum News. We'll have more updates this evening.
And anytime on the Spectrum News app.
Thank you, and we'll see you later.